Hello. I am animals. Oh wow, I don't think I said that last time. Uh, I am animals, your faithful caster. Casting you another Champions Summit game. This one on the US server. But it's actually between an EU team versus a US team. And if I'm not mistaken, I was given information. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna 100% confirm the information because I'm not sure how confirmed it is from my source. But from what I heard, Quersation and Iska traded accounts this tournament. So I actually casted a game of Iska Arborus Roque, and I was assuming he was Iska, but I think it actually turned out that he was Quersation. And they've played with Iska a lot, so it might have always been Quersation. Iska might not even ever play this game at all anymore. Or no, no, that's right. What am I talking about? I was told that they swapped accounts, so Quersation is actually Iska, and that actually makes sense because Quersation is not a Psychopomp player. At least, I mean, let's find out, right? Boom, boom. Where's Pomp? Like 300 games, 60% win rate, but I'm sure like his Rav, yeah, Reaver, higher win rates. Headhunter, not that high, but still over 60%. I have 50% on everything, so I play with in-house retards all the time and lose all my win rate, so I can't shit talk. But oh wow, that's a nice Guardian win rate. Or sorry, oh, that is called Guardian, right? Why did I not think that that was called Guardian? I'm confusing Vanguard with Guardian. Anyway, we have a game here. EUs versus US players. Now the US players, we should talk about these guys. I know all three of these people pretty well. I wouldn't say, I mean, sadly enough, I'd say Grims is the person I know the best of the three, and I don't think Grims likes me at all, so it's kind of a funny situation, but I do know them all pretty well. This Neeeboe guy, if I'm not mistaken, is what's his name? Flavakid. It is Flavakid. He's in the Two Clams Casino or whatever. Neeeboe. Yeah, Clams Casino. Yeah, and he's a Spearmaster player. I think he has a pretty good win rate with it. Let's see. Like win rates matter, right? Who's counting? But him, DoctorPoor. DoctorPoor is probably one of my favorite US players because he's really skilled and he doesn't talk at all, like almost not at all. And he's actually open to criticism too, which surprised me. But that's also really flattering, or well, just charming in general. So yeah, I really like DoctorPoor. I like Rims too. He's kind of a hothead, but then again, who isn't in this game, right? But Grims is, despite that, a very motivated player. Maybe he reminds me of PPD a little bit from Dota, if anyone knows who that is, but most motivated player. But yeah, Grims is very good. I'm not sure about his inhib. Actually, no, I am sure about his inhib. He's really good on inhib. He plays inhib all the fucking time. Gazhag on Renid. He plays Renid a lot too. Can't talk about Iska Pump or Quersation Pump. Or really, or well, I did just cast a game of Gymarg Gunner. I actually didn't even analyze that Gymarg is in this game. I don't know very much about Gymarg. I do know that he's good and motivated. All I can really tell about him. And I think he's from Sweden. I'm pretty sure he's Swedish. Pretty much fucking everyone from Europe is Swedish. Not surprising with the Swedish developer. Anyway, talking a little bit too long. Let's just fucking hit space. Oh wait, I actually didn't go over the medallions. We have Arcane Disruptor to point out the weird ones on DoctorPoor. The only Frost Shard we have in the game is Gymarg. It's just kind of surprising. Gazhag doesn't go for the Frost Shard Ranid, which is just really, really strong. Grims doesn't have the Frost Shard inhib, but that's not that big of a deal. It's pretty standard. I mean, this is standard too. But imagine if he did have the Frost Shard versus the two Trancers, it's really good for Ranid. It's good with Ranid in almost all situations, I would say. But anyway, fuck it. Let's just go. Spaced out by Gymarg. Sends out a blind. Nice trance by Neeeboe. Executing charged up. Jukes out Grims' trance. So Grims is going to get hit up by some blow darts. Gazhag tries to space Grims, but the runic stuns him out. And now he's kind of lost in no man's land. He's going to steal the rune. I don't know about that lunge to get that rune because his team's in a little bit of a trouble. He hits the trance of Grims, and Grims gets some decent M1s, M2s onto Gymarg, who's going for a few too many executes, I would say. He needs to go for more M1s. Misses his Frost Shard. Gazhag spacing towards the general area of blue team and hits a trance. Neeeboe with his ult gets a nice whirling blade. I don't really say that. Whirling blade onto Gymarg. Harpoon. It's just gonna be enough. This game is looking like a train wreck, I have to say. But it is the first match. This is an early game in the first round of a tournament. Yeah, exactly right there. Sorry, I just need the warm-up round, is what he's saying. If you can't read it, because I know my stream quality isn't the greatest, but yeah, exactly what he's saying. It's just looking like a sloppy round. We got some pretty low TPS. Gymarg definitely going for a few too many executes, and I think one big thing is you have to know that Gazhag, Iska/Quersation, and Gymarg, they don't know any of these US players. The US players probably know a little bit about them, at least about Gazhag, if no one else. But none of the EU players really know who they're facing up against, so they might think that it's going to be a walkover, but it really isn't. It's a hard game, especially with the MS advantage. Nice stun out and blind by Gazhag. Neeeboe getting an in on Quersation. Swap with Neeeboe. Stun from Gazhag maybe, no, but nice call out by Neeeboe trancing that. Grims is getting really low to Gymarg though. Two-man Toxin Bomb, actually just a one-man execute onto Grims. He pops Runic a little bit too late, or too early, whatever you want to think of it, because it really wasn't effective at all. Nice two-man execute. One-man ult, but it didn't do too much because of the totem. Neeeboe still on Quersation. Spear Slash gets locked up. Whirling Blade does land onto Quersation, but the Shuriken does not. Space in by Grims as soon as Neeeboe leaves, so it's a little bit of awkward timing, and we see an M1 with a Venom Dart. Is that what it's called? Actually, it's so sad I don't know what. Yeah, it's called Venom Dart. And is that called Blow Dart, not Blow Darts? Oh no, okay, it's called Blow Darts. Yeah, I don't even know the names of the abilities of the hero I play the most, but who's reading, right? But yeah, we'll play by Orm. Cold this time were the ones that seemed a little bit drunk. This is kind of just drunk gaming so far. We really want to see some coordination, some really tight gameplay. We're not getting any of that. Blind and M1's onto Gazhag. What am I talking about? Trance lands from Grims, locks up focus shot by Gymarg, stun onto Neeeboe by Gazhag. He lands a trance onto Quersation while Gymarg goes for a pin down onto Doctor, but he ends up spacing it. Shuriken misses Gazhag, and he was also other sided. Blind onto Grims, two-man ult from Gaz, really nice. Totem gets killed and stops Gazhag from hitting the trance, so that was actually really beneficial. But the ult still didn't do too much. Big ult attempt by DoctorPoor, but nice other side by Quersation. Nice trance by Grims onto Gymarg, but Gymarg has pinned down, misses Grims. Grims uses Aegis instead of ult. The ult might have been really good here. Space gets locked up, but trance does not. And an EX space, really nice EX space coming out to finish it off. Gunner going down, I believe in her stealth. I'm not, oh no, probably not in her stealth because we do get to see her corpse. But two-man ult coming up from Gaz. He's just too low though, and it was a two-man ult onto Grimrog and inhibitors, so that's not gonna be enough damage. Even though Grimrog only has 1600 HP, I believe. Oh, 1700. Maybe DoctorPoor has Vitality though? I'm not sure. I thought it was 1600. Maybe I'm wrong. But even though he doesn't have like about a tank's amount of health, you know, he still has Totem. He still has so much survivability. Kill SM is the order coming out from Quersation / Iska. Whirling Blade onto Gazhag. Other sided out of it. Aegis coming out onto Neeeboe, who's gonna fight for the room, but actually chances at the worst time, and Gazhag does get it. But actually, that's not that bad of a chance because Gazhag's so low, and Neeeboe still has the same amount of energy. Grimm's gonna get stunned up in the totem, gets locked up on his soul bolt. It does have his right click. I'm not even sure what that's called. I'm sorry, I kept to keep doing this. Ohm bolt. Nice trance. I believe that was a trance, or was it a space? I believe it was a space. I don't know what that was by Grims, but it does get him a really nice in. Ult coming up from Gaz. Grimm's getting a decent ult there. It's inhibitor ults are really hard to quantify, but a nice trance on the Bertha there, and a big execute up onto Neeeboe, who did not use his EX if I'm not mistaken, or maybe he did. Whirling Blade onto Quersation, who's incredibly low. He does get a nice swap. Javelin misses. Terrifying Scream gets locked up, and Grims ends up finishing off the Psycho Pump, but Gaz gets a cross kill. But the problem is even though Renegade Gunner is really strong, they're just too low, and it's versus such a tanky comp. Nice healing coming out from Gazhag. He's going to get a lot of healing off of that. But his healing doesn't really affect his Gunner's HP, so it's still going to be an uphill battle. It's really Cold Team's game to lose. Nice space. I think that was an EX space by Grims. Even got Gaz on his in between his spaces, I believe. And that's going to be another round for the US team right here. Gymarg saying that he cannot kill SM. He did make some mistakes hitting. I mean, he's been hitting a lot of chances. Gymarg now strategizing that they're going to go go upward. Now, does going upward mean like hiding? No. I think he means push. They're gonna try to push, and I think that that's a good idea. Ranid generally does better with a lot of space. That's actually something that didn't happen in the last game that I casted. Versus it was Schulte's Ranid versus Trolldraki Headhunter. As Ranid, I think you do need to just you need to abandon your team after a certain point. You're not going to be able to help them in any way that's going to be worth it. Big damage onto Grims, but it looks like Neeeboe is DCing, but he seems to be okay. Not too big of damage coming out to Grims, so it should be a pretty decent game still. Two-man execute, but they were both in the totem, so it doesn't do very much. Stun onto Grims. He's taking some big damage. Rocket launcher coming out from Gymarg, but Grims ends up trancing it, and Gymarg gets swapped out by Quersation. Nice space blind onto Neeeboe, but he ends up getting a trance on the execute. Gymarg needs to kind of juke those out a little bit, but Gazhag, the MS, he almost got a big AoE blow dart. That would have been really nice javelin onto Gazhag as he goes through the rune. He's forced to use that energy immediately onto an Aegis, and now his team is incredibly low. Nice swap by Quersation onto the ult of DoctorPoor. Not sure if that was intended, but it ends up being really good nonetheless. Nice swap onto Gazhag. He AoEs onto Quersation, trying to heal him up a little bit. Trance coming out from Grims. EX space as well. Gaz so low. Will Whirling Blade kill him? No. Shuriken kind of gets him low. Nice javelin. The two-man ult comes out, and actually SM goes down, and Grims gets a nice shot onto Ranid as he's spacing. In between the spaces, blind onto Grims, I should say Grims, not Grim. Nice Dark Voodoo attempt. Not gonna kill anybody though. Totem gets executed down. Nice juke out on Grims' trance. He's gonna have to space to get away from Gymarg. Aegis coming out from Quersation, but how does he die? He gets killed by Grims' M2 maybe. That AX space was a little bit ballsy. I think a regular space would have just been fine. AX space it doesn't really help you avoid damage unless you get the damage dealer with it. So Grims just kind of M1s the area that this Pomp was standing in before he casted the X space, and it just ends up working anyway. Pomp goes down, and I believe he had to have had the other side, so he was really trying to bait hard. But you just have to remember the MS. It's pretty hard for Worm to do anything against this, and Cold just feel comfortable. Another thing I should say is just Cold's comp is so good versus Worm's. The two trances that actually teleport you to the player that you hit, and Grims even stuns the player. So since Gymarg is on Gunner is kind of big on casting, big on cast time and stuff. that stun is not welcome at all. It's so hard for Worm to find any targets. Almost a nice trance by Grims, but he ends up canceling it, thinking nobody would hit him. I'm not sure how Gazhag didn't get stunned up by that runic beam. It did explode on his face, but it didn't stun him out. One man Whirling Blade. Quersation taking a lot of damage, so low. Has the other side. Gymarg hitting Neebo's trance, but that's not going to be that big of a deal because it kind of puts him out of position, and Gymarg doesn't get hit by the harpoon either. Neebo's going to kind of have a hard time getting in. Gets locked on his Kunju, but actually Gymarg doesn't even try to pin down. Gazhag gets a 2-man ult. Grims used his ult, but not much avail. And Gazhag is going to get the kill right there with just the stun and the ult exploding onto Grims. Big damage right there. Neeeboe having a hard time finding a target this round, ends up landing his trance. One man whirlwinds aren't very good against cycle pumps is something I've learned in the past. Is good against alchemists, so that's I think the one healer that you are guaranteed a lot of damage on as long as you don't get affected by the weaken, the deadly inject. Grim saying he got zoned hard. I think Neeeboe is really the one who got outplayed in terms of positioning. Stun onto Grims, blind onto DoctorPoor, and another blind. Nice chain blind. He cannot heal his team very well right now, but there was a totem and Grims didn't take too much damage. So that's not gonna be too bad for Worm. Tempest attempt onto Quersation, but actually puts Neeeboe out of position again. Space onto Grims by Gazhag, who almost has an ult, and he will get a stun. Will get 2-man ult. Blind onto Grims. He pops his Aegis and his runic. Totem gets killed immediately. Does his EX space. I'm not sure if he dodged the ult damage or not, but Gazhag gets another stun. Trance lands onto Quersation. Gymarg and Neeeboe going at it in the corner, by the way, 1v1. Neeeboe lands a Tempest onto him, but Gymarg gets a blind onto Doctor. Ult attempt. Doctor not knowing where Gymarg is. Actually, Gymarg might live. No, Whirling Blade. I keep saying that. Whirling Blade is going to finish it. And Gazhag trying to stealth onto Neeeboe. Ends up getting trance, but he does blind. That's not a really good javelin because Gazhag was trying to get closer for the ult. 2 Aegises come out. No Aegis, no spaces, no trance either. This is a really good end. Yeah, Doctor's just gonna go down, and that's gonna make another round for Gazhag here. Team Gazhag, 3-4. Good guys is what Gymarg says. I'm not sure what guys in specific he's talking about. I'm pretty sure it's his teammates, but you never know. He could just be genuinely surprised at how good these random US people are. Yeah, round 8 on the way. Trance coming out from Neeeboe. Stun onto Grims. He gets locked on his Wuju. No Soulbind landing though. I should be talking more about Soulbind. Runic shield onto Grims. Gazhag gets the ult. Does not get a stun onto Neeeboe though. So he won't get his ult. He won't get to use his ult very easily. 2-man trance onto Quersation because of that Soulbind. My god, so much damage taken to him, but all of Cold are in Worm spawn, and Gazhag is there too, so he is going to get a 2-man ult. Big spaces onto Quersation. He's taking so much damage, and they can go on him so easily. Gymarg's blinds and Gazhag's blinds aren't doing it for Iska here. And the Tempest, the Grimrock R, and the EX spaces from Grims, and just the regular spaces from Grims, they're too much for a pump that doesn't get that much support. Oh my god, what the fuck, my jump. I don't know what he's trying to say there, and wow, look at how many killing blows Grims got. Jesus, 12. I mean, I wouldn't say that this match is exactly fair. You would almost think it because of Gazhag and Quersation. Well, it's Gazhag and Iska, and I don't know how much those two play together. I don't know how much any of these people play together. I think Worm just kind of wanted to play the US Summit just for fun, you know. I really doubt they're taking it all that serious, but still well played by Cold. Worm looking a little bit sloppy there, but like I said, it was probably just for fun. And Cold looking pretty strong there too for people that don't really team together. But that's kind of the way of U.S. tournaments nowadays. Is nobody plays together a lot. We just grab random people and try to make something work before we face Arborists or Shadow Lords or something. And that's probably the case with Cold Team here. I'm sure this is probably the funnest game they had all night, unless they continue to win. Not sure how far they got. They might have ended up losing to Shadow, but we'll have to see. Anyway, nice game, GG. Thanks for watching, all that.